everybody. Today we are going to be talking about why I suggested to my daughter to start an IUL, Index Universal Life Insurance policy, versus a 401k. So if you guys take a look at what I'm sharing with you, you will see some software that I have purchased to make my life easier and to make it, to help me analyze the differences between someone's either qualified account like a 401k or 403b or TSP versus the Index Universal Life. This software, I can, I'm going to show you guys right here. I can input a person's actual numbers when it comes to their 401k. And what I mean by actual numbers is, their actual tax rate, current tax rate, the fees that they're paying in their 401k, and basically the average rate of return that they've been earning on their 401k versus what an IUL could basically do in the same scenario. Now, for my daughter, she doesn't have a 401k or even a Roth IRA because she's barely starting out. She's only 19 years old and she's barely starting to save. But I use this to kind of help her decide which one would be better, you know, a qualified account or a Roth IRA, or the Index Universal Life. And we pretty much try to keep it apples to apples. So let me show you guys the parameters because this is all math, guys. I'm not making up these numbers. I've been using this software for about 2 years now, and sometimes the IUL isn't the best thing, and that's something that you guys have to understand is that one is not better than the other. It just depends on your particular situation. That's why it's always important, guys, to do a financial needs analysis with a financial professional. Okay. A lot of you guys go and you deal with people that only trying to get you to enroll into the 401k and not really looking out for your best interests. And on the other hand, some of you guys are only talking to life insurance salespeople that are trying to sell you an IUL because that's all they can do for you. The recommendations that these professionals give you should be based off of your needs, not their needs. Okay. With that being said, another little disclaimer. I want you guys to understand that even though we're using real math and the math is the math when it comes to the software, this is a hypothetical example that we're using. These are not guarantees. Doesn't guarantee the performance of a 401k or even your 401k. Doesn't guarantee the performance of the IUL. It's just all hypothetical, apples to apples kind of comparison. Now that we've got legal out of the way, let's dive into this, guys. So as I said, my daughter's 19. She's going to be starting out with about $3,000 a year. That's what she's going to be saving into her IUL. Let me give you guys the reasons why, as a financial professional, this is what I chose to lay the foundation for her future. So I want to show you guys this cool little slider that the software provides. It allows me to move up every year that my daughter gets older. And as you can see in the blue and the green, you can see the numbers change, right? And like I said, according to the parameters that we put into the software, that's what reflects. The math is reflected every year as the accounts get older. The accounts grow, the fees grow, the taxes grow, all that stuff grows. So I really love this software, and I love this slider and the fact that it basically illustrates those numbers. Let's jump forward to retirement, okay? Age 66 is going to be the first year in retirement. Let's see what both of the plans have done up until the year that she retires. One of the first reasons why I chose an IUL versus a 401k in my daughter's situation is because I want to maximize her money. You know what? I'm going to do something because I see that I didn't do it just yet. What we're going to do is make this 401k low fees. Let's go 1.5%. Okay. Let me get this going. I should just type it in. Okay, 1.4. Let's just do 1.4%. She's getting an annual match of $4,000 in the 401k. As you see here in year one, she's actually putting in $7,750 versus only $3,000 in the IUL. So we're dumping more money into this 401k versus the IUL. So let's jump back to age 66. So with the match, there's a ton more money going into the 401k versus the IUL. But what I want you guys to see is, I'm going to leave this highlighted. All the money that she's putting in here, I want the money to work harder for her. So you see that she put in 568,000, including the match from her employer, into this 401k versus only 300,000, a little more than 300,000 of her own money into the IUL. Look at the income, guys. You can see here that the IUL will a $135,000 tax-free income. Another key difference, guys, is that the 401k is pre-tax contributions, the growth is tax deferred, and the distributions are taxed. So in order to net the same thing that the IUL is going to net for us, we have to take more out of the 401k. Okay, see this? We have to take out $168,000 a year to net what the IUL would give us. So that's going to do a couple things. It's going to eat away at your 401k balance much faster, and you're going to have a tax bill. Okay, I want to pay less. I want to invest less for the same amount of income in retirement. Now, there's a difference of about, let's say 200 and, let's just say 250K, a little bit more, right? I'm just rounding off numbers, guys. Would you rather invest 304,000 to get 135,000, or would you rather invest 568,000 to get the same amount of income, right? So I'd rather my daughter only invest 300,000, and the other 250,000, she could go buy a house, do some real estate investing. She could help pay for her kids' college. Because there's just so many options that she has now because her money is working harder. The second reason, the growth and the contributions are tax deferred in a 401k. So in her working lifetime, my daughter would have put off about $340,000 of taxes. Evaluating our economic climate, I think taxes are going to be higher in the future when she retires. So why would I put off this tax bill till later when they're going to be more expensive? She might not just owe 340,000, it might be even more in the future. So I'd rather get the taxes over. I'd rather her get the taxes over with now and not have to worry about whether taxes are higher. She just, ripped the band-aid off in her working years, and now she doesn't owe any taxes. Okay. If you take a look at the fees, oh my God, guys, let's take a look. Let's talk about fees, right? A lot of people think that the IUL is superior to most retirement vehicles because of the tax benefits, the tax advantages that the IUL provides. Just to keep it simple, IUL is tax-free on the growth and the distribution, strategically withdrawn. Okay, strategically withdrawn, you could possibly pull that out tax-free. It grows tax deferred just like a 401k, but if you withdraw it just like a 401k, it's going to get taxed like a 401k. But there's a strategy that your agent should teach you and should know about. Anyways, regarding the fees, right? That's what's really going to eat at whatever investment account that you're putting in, or savings account. Okay, fees are super important in the regard that you want to pay as little as possible. Now, let's take a look at the fees. These are only the totals of her working lifetime. These are not including the fees in retirement. And remember, I lowered the fees to like 1.4%. If she were to be paying more in this 401k, more than 1.4, the fees would be even higher than what we're seeing. At 1.4% fees, and expenses, she would have paid $451,000 versus the IUL, she would only be paying $55,000 in fees. And I'm going to tell you, I'm going to be honest with you guys, the fees in an IUL are a lot higher than 1.4. So if they're higher than 1.4, why is she paying so little compared to the 401k that's only 1.4? Well, that's because I designed it that way. So another thing you guys should kind of notate in your brain is that the agent that you use for your IUL to design your IUL and to service your IUL, yes, agents should be sitting down with you every year, maybe even twice a year, maybe even more, depending on what's going on with the economy, and watching your cash value to basically help you eliminate those extra fees and to maximize the growth in there. But because I'm good at what I do, my daughter's only going to pay a fraction of the amount that she would if she was doing a 401k or a Roth IRA or anything like that. Now, the income's the income. So let's look at the account balance. The account balance is pretty much the same. Wait a minute. How much more did we put into the 401k? We put in 568,000, right? Versus 304,000. Why did the less money actually beat the growth in a 401k? I'm telling you guys, fees is super important when you're talking about retirement. Okay, just 1% difference in fees doesn't sound like a lot, but it could be the difference of what I'm showing you right now. And properly structuring your IUL is going to give you this kind of performance. So the account balance is the same, but remember, guys, it's the one thing you haven't done: pay your taxes. Even though the account balance is the same, over here, this is over 1.7 million tax-free, whereas this is almost 1.7 taxed. And you can see that in the next reason why I chose an IUL for my daughter. This reason is called the death benefit. So in this situation, if you had almost 1.7, so one thing you never paid on that money, taxes, so you would actually only leave your family 1.3 million. Okay? That's a whole bunch of money. That's 7 figures right there. And a lot of people would be happy with that. But did you really work all those years, 50 years, to just give away hundreds of thousands of dollars to the IRS? Or would you rather have worked all those years to give your family most of the money that you worked for, most of the money that you sweat for, that you bled for, right? Missing maybe holidays and birthdays and stuff because you were working. I don't know about you guys, but I'd rather give most of my money to my family. So take a look at this. Let's compare. Would you rather leave 1.3 to your family, or would you rather leave more than it's in your cash value? Remember, the IUL is a life insurance policy, okay? First and foremost. So it's not just the account balance that you're leaving to your family, it's also the separate life insurance policy that's attached to it, okay? So not only do you leave them tax-free 1.7 million, you actually leave them a little bit more because of the life insurance policy, and all of it is tax-free. So as you can see, the IUL properly structured has a way better death benefit than a qualified plan or even a Roth IRA. Next reason, and this is probably the most important reason when it comes to retirement, you're gonna run out of money in your 401k. If you're trying to keep up with this type of performance and basically netting $135,000 like the IUL can provide, it can't keep up. You would have to take out less money in your 401k and live off of less money than the IUL so you don't run out of money. But why would you want to do that? Why would you lower your income and live a lower quality of life when you don't have to? Oh, well, if I lower my income in my 401k, I'm going to pay less taxes. Well, yeah, because you're living off of less. Okay? But like I said, you could get 6 figures in an IUL and not have to worry about taxes, whether they go up, down, sideways, whatever, because it's tax-free distribution, strategically withdrawn. So would you rather live off of a 6-figure income and run out at age 79, like a 401k in this example? Or would you love the peace of mind of never having to worry about running out of money? How do they do that? How do they do that? There's banking principles It's a whole strategy, guys, that you implement into the IUL. So 13 years of income or unlimited years of income. I hope you guys have a ton of questions. I hope you guys reach out to me. This is what we are in the business of doing. We're in the business of teaching you guys how to maximize your assets, how to make your money work the hardest for you, and sharing all the different options that we have. So give us a call. Let's sit down. Let's do a financial needs analysis for your particular situation. Let's see if an IUL, might be better suited for your situation. And if we do figure out that an IUL is better suited for your situation, you have to qualify, guys. It's life insurance. Let's see if you qualify and get the ball rolling and get you going on increasing your generational wealth for you and your family. All right, guys. I hope you have a great rest of your day. Peace out.